been pretty. It's been pretty bad levels. We're gonna be doing levels today. Levels that I made. First, I'm making a player. This is not the first level I've ever made. It's the first level that is uploaded to account. This part is very buggy, and yeah, you just play. Yeah, it's kind of stupid. It is actually possible to fail, but I clearly didn't. Alright, next up, the first level that is actually somewhat of a challenge. Down Low. I actually really think these were creative. They're two of this VFG's. I just watched one of VFG's videos and I realized, and I just took this one there. This level's somewhat hard. As soon as you get past that, you're pretty much free. Then we got Jetpack Dasher Auto. Jetpack Dasher. As you can see, I didn't do the invisible auto thing. I actually made this into somewhat of a challenge where I tried to avoid as many paths as possible. Yes, that's why I died at an auto. Sector 2. Okay, actually, we're only doing, like, levels that I'm semi-proud of. So, not my most liked level. I mean, because it's literally just a deadlocked auto with a changed song. This one... And none of the challenges, or older challenges, are pissing. Solely semi-difficult level that probably one of the hard. This was not as dark, and it also made some minor gameplay changes, as well as fixing up some of the deco issues. It's just a single removal of a single, which is just a bunch of big glows stacked on top of each other, and it lags. It also fades. Yeah, I kind of forgot. I didn't know about don't fade back then, or don't enter. Yeah, people should use this transition more. Did I add some coins? That part's somewhat... This part was one of the ones I nerfed the most, so it's actually really difficult. Spider! That part actually used to be... Actually a hack buff this, is it? 78, dang it. With a keyword. Alright. Hello there. But for some reason, since the thing was glitching out. Wait. Didn't you already discover this? Like last. Do 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 do. Sync reason. And we beat it. Cool. This is gonna take a while, but I'm planning on doing some practice run of my impossible levels. Yes, I have impossible levels. First, Deadlock the Air. Was another one, but that one's A, physically impossible, and B, not very good. This one's still, I think, one of my worst ones. It's somewhat not too creative. It is just a buffed version of Deadlocked. Well, most of mine are just buffed. And then there's two that are buffed versions of other levels. And one of which is just and one of which is a buff version of Ship Fix by Vermilion, which means it's of a mix of parts from Rob top levels. We do have some tricky parts like this timing. But I hate this part. It's actually annoying. Even in no clip it's annoying since you... Oh, yeah, it's... This timing, I don't know if it's possible, physically possible, outside of practice mode. No, actually, I have... Let's see. Also, these aren't actually green orbs. They're those pseudo-green orbs. You know, the yellow orb in a gravity portal. The 1.9 era green orb. They're actually a bit harder and more Yeah, that's a dash orb. Time for yeah, this bar is literally just I changed it to a mini wave, and I think I got. No, I didn't get rid of the gravity portals. This is confirmation there. Yeah, they're somewhat lazy. I've always seemed to excel at cube and robot gameplay. Spider's the hardest besides Spider, but really it isn't possible to create good or creative Spider gameplay with it that can't be. There's no really greater There's very little great or creative Spider gameplay that cannot be done with balls. Ball is the fact that it acts like the cube in a robot, and if you put a jump, is that it will die if it hits the surface head on. Like if you jump into blocks, like unless you use H blocks. Also, it's actually and it's actually one of the and it's actually possible to really easy to sync it up. Since when you press, you only need one of the spiders to be in the air during a duel, doing a 6, and you can just super easily sync them up. Like they. And now we're almost at the actually makes it somewhat harder. Wait, right, the following section I don't remember if it's even physically possible. You could do a copter spider you could do a swing copter with a ball, and they're functionally equivalent unless you touch a surface. This part's somewhat creative. I actually don't. Plus, we actually have no confirmation that the 2.2 game mode is actually a swing copter. It could be this, although it seems most likely. Especially due to the way its animations work. However, it could also be a snake, like the thing Zor did, which is actually really counterintuitive to the way game modes tend to work. Dash. I just actually use a decent knowledge of bugs in X. For example, here you do a. Wait, we've already done 200 attempts. Yeah, as you can see, this level is pretty inconsistent. Parts like this cube are pretty easy. Not easier, but still pretty easy. And then there's the mini wave. Like this. Yeah, I did. Oh god. I did it. I failed to. This is the worst part of the because of this. There's actually invisible blocks here. It's so you can't die in these corridors, but I and of course we got the dual mini wave. I think that's why I actually exceed on possible less rules for CPS. Even if it doesn't, it's not good gameplay at all. I'm actually, yeah, I think the bottom gravity portal just is too far, so the top one does. So you're not. And if I remember, and I guess we are going upside down. Is it even possible upside down? Oh wait, right, these gravity portals. Yeah, you could actually clip in and out of those blocks, which might actually be required, which probably helps. Originally, this was, I think, a dual UFO, but that wasn't physically possible, so I just changed it to a ship. And actually, I think the ship might be definitely not humanly, potentially physically. But I mean, it was intended to be inhumanly impossible. I do think it's one of my worst ones. Not as bad as Little Torture. That is just dumb, stupid, gimmicky, honestly. Honestly, I actually did a decent asymmetrical duel here. I mean, it's literally just a spam section. It's definitely possible in practice mode. I did it. I mean, I'm here in practice mode. Humanly, no. And it's also pretty bad. Physically or humanly possible? Humanly, definitely not. This mini wave is actually decently fun, probably because it's significantly easier than the. I actually think it would have been when a 3-speed dual wave or 4-speed actually was the hardest game mode. Yeah, definitely not humanly possible, but that wasn't part of the intention. It was just. Oh yeah, right. I made this part. I hid the player here. That's literally the only change. Probably because of the sheer amount of moving objects actually makes it somewhat if you without a bit of trial and error as well as I was. Not great, but I actually know a decent. Wait. And this, if I remember correctly, this part might legitimately be unchanged. Then we get to my and so is this part. Then we get to my favorite part of this entire level. It's stupid, I know, but for some reason it's somewhat fun to do this part with the duel. And it's physically possible. It's somewhat inconsistent, though. Then we get to the ending, and except for this dash orb. I don't know what I was going for here. Oh, right, you have to let go. Yeah. Alright, next up is Club Step Hexagon Force 18. This first part is actually holdable, which is funny. And then we get to the part that probably would eat up the attempts, just this invisible orb spam. And I literally just swiped orbs. There's actually also a block in there that you can literally... Jeez, you can die. I think this is easier. It's definitely better. Also, I really like... Also, the thing with... It just moves down, but it looks instant because it just fades at time, which actually makes me really like that part. Alright, now to the first duel, not the... Okay, so if you get 2 waves, it's impossible. If you get 2 ships, I am uncertain of its possibility. Although I'm pretty certain, due to the fact that 2 ships, that an upside-down ship actually has a different gravity from a normal ship. But if you get a ship in a wave, I know it's physically possible. This part is annoying to get through in practice mode. But possible. There we get to probably. I actually. Oh great! I caught an invisible dual glitch here, in a swing copter, and the swinging. Probably one of the most inconsistent transition of this level, as well as the most changed part, as well as a part I'm actually not entirely sure is physically possible. I actually suck at. Well, I made it! And yeah, this part's really... I'm bad at this part. Just... I don't... I think it's one of the hardest in part of the level. Just this pretty tough swing copter, actually. Well, it might just be the fact that I have very little experience with swing copter, it being, you know, not an official mode. I wonder what's the easiest level with a swing copter in it. And by that I mean rated level, those. And excluding autos. Including autos and only including rated levels and excluding auto levels. What's the easiest level with a swing copter? Also, the swing copter itself cannot just be an auto section. Like the swing copter, you actually, and not Gravity Zero doesn't really have a plus. I don't want to play Gravity Zero. It's one of the apparently it's a terrible gameplay. I mean, it's also a pretty difficult level, especially for the fact that it's only rated hard. And yet there was actually a pretty big controversy over rate this level, and Calling Out Depression didn't get that much controversy. Then Hungry Humphrey, which is actually a legitimately good level that took a decent amount of effort. It's just the reason I don't legitimately do not know why it's just. I really like this part. Still. controversy, and people are treating. No, it doesn't. It's just that XO didn't have a huge controversy, and and like so, Fairly 1.0 stopped. The level 1.0 only using 1.0 ish decorations decorated, and then when you saw like go, no, you didn't. Controversy over don't rate this. That's where the quote. That's where the infamous quote or famous quote by Zobros. Uh, you gotta accept out that there's always gonna be a crazy man 50 low getting his levels rated. Hey, forget the rest, but it's pretty. Still, it was just. This is actually a pretty good duel. Sick of it. Just. And actually, if you. You could dodge this dodge that blue gravity portal. You could enter here as effectively a one mini wave, making this part easier. However, this one's much more organized, and I think it's actually. I actually used to be what I consider one of the biggest lurkers. It's something that is somewhat meaningful until actually pretty recent. Of course, I did do meaningful stuff in different communities, but there's not that many. I don't know if they fully made an impact. Actually, Sparrow on Jay Sparrow's streams, yeah, definitely made an impact there with it. My favorite streamer, but I consider you a better friend, so I put you above him in my auto hosting list. Anyways, was on weighing there on the impossible list server. There was a debate over. There was a minor debate over whether Dead Assault should be kept, and it wasn't. It's not very different to fall it as a singular part with it. It's honestly, I don't know if it's harder than I think it's around the golden in difficulty. And yes, that. No, also I don't. I also made some layouts. You've already. Since when was this jump difficult? Using a. Only saw one what? I actually did two. Dumb Step and Flip. As well as height. Is it one of them? Yeah, it seems to be Lurker. He's a guy that just go, or just people that go watch every stream. They can't really. Can you hear me now? Hello? Yeah. V3 Club Step V3 time. Okay, so what? Probably one of the E's. Honestly, it's like this first part is pretty easy, and I've actually been able to do this entire cube before, which is, and actually, hold. And then we got this shit. And someone managed to do the straight fly once. I don't know how. It's, and I don't mean in practice mode where you can spam checkpoints to somewhat nullify the effects of the mirror portal, the flipping of the mirror portals. I don't know why Doggy put the blue mirror portals in the top of the tier of the portal. I mean, sure, you could, but the flip is also bad. But definitely not as bad, since that's also disorienting. However, mirror portals can be creatively used due to the screen switching effects. And then we got this really inconsistent transition into just a dual Freight Fly, one of the hardest, which is, this part is legit an insane difficulty spike. Honestly, which makes it seem similar to some old Silent levels. Just, and a lot of older demons at Extreme D just be having some really easy parts. Like the last page of Silent Club 7 is pretty easy. Well, and then the rest is, and then we got these. You're supposed to hit it. You mean you could? I mean you could, unless you want to do bad impossible levels wave spam. Yeah, I call it that. Ice Cave created it, although I don't have anything against him. He's actually a pretty good impossible levels creator. And kind of he made a Diamond Blade. He also made Slaughterhouse, both old Slaughterhouse and the new remake that's coming up, which is also a good remake. It's a good remix. Remake. Not really a remake though. Just some orb timings. Oh, I just got mini wave randomly. Yay. And then Skrillex popularized it. He made the wave sections in Silent Circles. They did it first in Deadly Silent Club. Yes, Deadly Silent Club. And then the Impossibilists were like, yeah, no, this isn't exactly good. And so that's why they made the new Impossible list. The old one just... know what happened, but the screen just kind of froze. Help? Hello? Geometry Dash, can you, respond? Earth to GD. Yeah. Geometry Dash, hello? Hello? It's just a white screen for me. And I'm pretty certain that means it's just... Yeah. Well, I guess that means this stream's ending early.